أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
We often think of the Quran in a very linear way, right? Chapter 1, then chapter 2, and so on. But what if that's not the primary way it's meant to guide us? What if, instead, the Quran is guiding us through the different states of being, the very landscapes of our own hearts?
And these beautiful insights that we're about to walk through, they've been compiled by Mir Ali Shah as part of his incredible work for the Living the Wisdom of the Quran podcast. So let's just step into this reflective space he's created for us.
Okay, so our journey is going to begin somewhere that might feel a little intense, almost like stepping into a storm. We're starting with Sūrah Sād, and the key here is to see it not just as a chapter in a book, but as a spiritual condition, a diagnosis, if you will, of the closed heart.
I love this metaphor. Think of Sūrah Sād as a kind of spiritual X-ray. Its whole purpose is to look right through the surface and show us exactly what's going on inside. Specifically, it reveals the anatomy, the consequences of a heart that's shutting down, that's resisting truth. And yeah, it can be an intense thing to look at, but it's so necessary.
And how does it do this? Well, the surah holds up these incredible mirrors for us, and they come in the form of the stories of the prophets. You have Dawood, peace be upon him, navigating justice while having all this power. You have Sulaiman, who has to learn surrender, even with his unbelievable command. And of course, Ayub, his patience in the face of just utter despair is legendary. Each one is a mirror for our own soul, a lesson in turning back to God.
But at the very center of this storm, we find the darkest mirror of all. It's the story of Iblis. And his refusal to bow, it wasn't some abstract theological argument. No, it was something so much more personal, so much more dangerous. It was the ego's first and final addiction. That simple, deadly thought, I am better.
So where does this surah leave us? It feels like it walks us right up to the edge of a cliff. We're left standing there, just looking at the ruins, the wreckage that arrogance creates. It shows us the end point, the consequence of that path of denial. And it is a stark, really sobering place to be.
But here's the thing about the Quran. It never leaves you in despair, ever. It always shows you a way forward. So the question we have to ask is, why? Why does the path lead us from this place of rupture, of brokenness, to a place of opening? What happens after the storm passes?
And the answer, it's just beautiful. It's found in the very next spiritual state we're guided into, Surah Fāṭir. And again, this isn't just us turning the page to the next chapter. No, this is the divine response. This is the surah of unfolding, the surah of new beginnings. And just look at the name itself. Fāṭir. That's the whole key right there. It means the originator, the one who splits things open, the one who cracks open the seed so the plant can grow, who splits open the darkness so the dawn can emerge. It's a name of immense creative power and so much mercy.
And you feel this shift immediately. It's night and day. If Sūrah Sād left us in the ruins, Surah Fāṭir welcomes us into a garden that's just overflowing with grace. Suddenly we're hearing about angels descending with mercy. Sustenance is renewed. Creation is just unfolding everywhere you look, in the mountains, the rain, the fruits. It's a total, complete change of scenery for the soul.
So you see what's happening here? This movement from the storm of Sād to the clear sky of Fāṭir, this isn't random. It's not just a change of subject. It is a deliberate, divine form of spiritual therapy. It's a guided journey from rupture to revival.
Let's put them side by side because the contrast is so powerful. In Surah Sād, the camera is zoomed way in on this one single ego that refuses to bow. But then in Surah Fāṭir, the camera pulls all the way out, and suddenly we see the entire cosmos, the stars, the planets, everything, in a constant state of beautiful surrender. It's a shift from the collapse of a lie to the unfolding of a universal truth.
And the imagery just says it all, doesn't it? Sād gives us the storm. It shows us this is what denial feels like. This is what it does to the soul. And then Fāṭir comes in and gives us the clear, open sky. It says, and this is how divine generosity can come and revive that very same soul.
It's like they each have a different job to do. Surah Sād's job is to scratch the surface, to expose the fracture, to point right at the spot where we're broken. But Fāṭir has a completely different role. It doesn't point at the crack. It pours water into it. It irrigates and nourishes the soul through those very cracks. One exposes, the other heals.
Okay, now,
As if all of that wasn't profound enough, there's another layer here. A hidden connection, a kind of mystical resonance that spiritual masters have pointed to for centuries, and it's found in something called abjad numerology. Let's take a quick look.
This is just fascinating. So in the system, every Arabic letter has a numerical value. The letter Sād, its value is 90, which, if you reduce it, gives you the number 9. And what does 9 represent? Completion, the end of a cycle, which is exactly what Surah Sād is about, right? The end result of arrogance. But then you look at the letters for Fāṭir. They add up to 290, which reduces to 2. And what does 2 represent? Duality, partnership, a new beginning. The connection is just, wow, it's incredible.
So you have this spiritual shift, and it's mirrored perfectly in this numerological shift from 9 to 2. From the end of one story to the absolute beginning of the next. A cycle closes, a new one opens up. And this isn't just some neat little trick with numbers, you know? This journey from 9 to 2, it's the blueprint for the soul's healing journey. It's the move from completion back to origin. It's going from that feeling of internal collapse to this incredible external cosmic expansion. It's literally the ego's isolation breaking down and the soul finally awakening and reconnecting.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. What does this mean for you and me, for any of us trying to walk a spiritual path? Well, this journey, it's not just about ancient history or mystical numbers. It's a map. It's a map for our own inner journey.
And this right here is the heart of it all. This is the therapeutic genius of the Quran. It doesn't shy away from the broken parts of us. It heals by breaking us open and then showing us the light. It shows us the end of the road, the consequence of arrogance, and then, with just infinite mercy, it turns us around and places us right at a brand new beginning.
And what this whole journey does is it completely transforms our inner voice. It's designed to take us away from that loud, destructive echo of the ego, that constant "I am better," and it guides us to a much quieter, much more profound and healing whisper. The whisper that reminds us that all new openings, all beginnings, they start with surrender.
And once again, these incredibly profound insights come to us from the work compiled by Nir Ali Shah. If this reflection resonated with you, I really do encourage you to explore more of his work at the Living the Wisdom of the Quran podcast. It's just a really powerful path to walk.